Hi, this is Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got a book to read for you. Today's book is Uncle Judd Barbershop from 1993. So let's get started. Judd Johnson was my granddaddy brother. Everybody had their favorite relative. Well, Uncle Judd was mine. He used to come by our house every Wednesday night with his clippers. He was the only black barber in the country. Daddy said that before Uncle Judd started cutting hair, he and Granddaddy used to have to go 30 miles to get a haircut. After Uncle Judd cut my daddy hair, he lathered a short brush with soap and spread it over my daddy's face and shaved him. Then he started over on my granddaddy. I always asked Uncle Judd to cut my hair, but Mama wouldn't let him. So he would run the clipper on the back of my neck and just pretend to cut my hair. He even spread lotion on my neck. I would smell wonderful all day. When he was done, he would pick me up and sit me in his lap and tell me about the barbershop he was going to open one day and about all the fancy equipment that would be in it. The sink would be so shiny they sparkled. The floor so clean you can see yourself. He was going to have 4 barber chairs, and outside was going to be a big, tall, red and white barber pole. He told me he was saving up for it. He had been saying the same thing for years. Nobody believed him. People didn't have dreams like that in those days. We lived in the South. Most people were poor. My daddy owned a few acres of land, and so did a few others. But most people was sharecroppers. That means they lived in a shack and worked somebody else's land in exchange for a share of the crop. When I was 5 years old, I got sick. This predictable morning, I didn't come into the kitchen while Mommy was fixing breakfast. Mommy and Daddy couldn't wake me up. My nightgown and bedcloth was all wet where I had sweated. Mommy wrapped me in a blanket with Daddy, went outside, and hitched the horse to the wagon. We had to travel about 20 miles into town to the hospital. It was midday when we got there. We had to go to we had to go to the color waiting room. In those days, they kept black and white separated. They were separate public restrooms, separate water fountain, separate school. It was called segregation. So in the hospital, we had to go to the color waiting room. Even though I was unconscious, the doctor wouldn't look at me until they had finished with all the white patients. When the doctor did examine me, they told my daddy that I needed an operation and that it would cost $300. $300 was a lot of money in those days. My daddy didn't have that kind of money, and the doctor wouldn't do the operation until they had the money. My mommy bundled me up. My mommy bundled me back up in the blanket, and they took me home. Mommy held me in her arms all night. She kept me alive until Daddy found Uncle Judd. He found him early the next morning, in the next county on his way to cut somebody hair. Daddy told him about me. Uncle Jed learned. Uncle Jed leaned on his bend cane and stared straight ahead. He told Daddy that the money didn't matter. He couldn't let anything happen to his Shara Jean. Well, I had the operation. For a long time after that, Uncle Jed came by the house every day to see how I was doing. I know that $300 delayed him from opening the barbershop. Uncle Jed came awfully close to opening his shop. A few years after my operation, he had saved enough money to buy the land and build the building, but he still needed money for the equipment. Anyway, Uncle Jed had come by the house. He had just finished supper when there was a knock on the door. It was Mr. Ernest Walters, a friend of Uncle Jed. He had come by to tell Uncle Jed about the bank failing. That was where Mr. Walters and Uncle Jed had their money. Uncle Jed had over $300 in the bank, and it was gone. Uncle Jed just stood there a long time before he said anything. Then he told Mr. Walters that even though he was disappointed, he would just have to start all over again. Talk about some hard times. That was the beginning of the Great Depression. Nobody had much money. But Uncle Jed kept going around to his customers, cutting their hair, even though they couldn't pay him. His customers shared with him whatever they had. A hot meal, fresh eggs, vegetables from the garden. And when they was able to pay again, they did, and Uncle Jed started saving all over again. Old Uncle Jed finally got his barbershop. He opened it on his 79th birthday. It had everything, just like he said it would. Big comfortable chairs, 4 cutting stations, you name it. The floor was so clean they sparkled. On opening day, people came from all over the country. They was Uncle Jed customers. He had walked to see them for so many years that days they came. Wait, that day they all came to him. I believed he had. I believe he cut hair all night and all the next day, and the next night, and the day after that. That man was so glad to have that shop, he didn't need any sleep. Of course, I was there too. I wouldn't have missed it for the war. When I sat in one of the big barber chairs, Uncle Jed patted the back of my neck with lotion like he always did. Then he would twist me around and around in the barber chair. Uncle Jed died not long ago after that, and I think he died a happy man. You see, he made his dream come true, even when nobody else believed in it. He taught me to dream too. So that was Uncle Jed Barbershop for 1993. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.